Shiny disco, 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 shiny disco ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, Guillaume Moubeche.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. And actually, I'm gonna check this Jamaica thing because it looks pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, man, that's going to be so much fun. At a minimum, come online. There's who else is going to be it? From LinkedIn? If you haven't checked out Keith Keller, he has a show. He's really good on Twitter.
Nice.
And he's going to be doing. He's based in New Zealand, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not flying all the way there," so he's actually going to be presenting online there as well. So there's a lot of some really great talent that are going to be speaking at that. But enough about that, my friend. Let's talk about you. You look so young, so fresh. You look like you just came out of the oven. And yet, you've created some pretty cool stuff. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what lemlist and lempod are?
Okay, so lemlist, first of all, is an email automation platform that allows you to get more replies to your email thanks to personalized images and videos. So basically, before starting doing lemlist, I had an agency where I was helping SMBs, like small companies, to grow and acquire customers. And I realized that a lot of people, whenever they were trying to reach out to people they don't know, so what we say doing cold email, they were actually not getting a lot of replies simply because they were doing it wrong. So the idea behind inserting personalized images and videos, it's really to add this human feel on the email and just to remind all the person that are using cold email that they should always focus on building a relationship. It doesn't matter basically if your service is not a good fit for the person you're reaching out to. In the end, what's good is really to focus on building a relationship, because even though the person doesn't like your service or is not the right fit, if you know your email was convincing and the person just thought, okay, this guy is a good guy, or I like what he's doing, even though it's not a good fit, he will even recommend you to other people.
Sure.
And in the end, again, people don't buy for a service, they really buy from people. So whenever you're reaching out, adding this human touch really helps out. So my goal is really, to help all my users. So we grew lemlist actually from 0 to more than 8,000 customers in the last year. We have a good community on Facebook, which is called the Email Outreach Family, where we basically give tips, email templates, so people can get inspiration and get better results. And regarding lempods, so the second project, this time is basically to help people get more visibility on LinkedIn by sharing the power of that network, in essence.
Let's break this down a bit, because some people aren't even aware of this. And there's also, I think this is a really timely discussion, because I've been hearing rumors circulating on LinkedIn lately that they might be cracking down on pods. Now, I had the impression that LinkedIn was fine with it, that they knew that people were doing this, and why not, right? It's, again, it's sort of a freedom of association, and people want to build up their networks. That is what the purpose of the platform is. And if people want to kind of combine their efforts, what people were doing was basically this, is they would create what is called an engagement pod. And they would create, basically it's just a chat, a thread, where a group of like-minded content creators could share the links to their content, and they would support each other. And through that, there is an element, I think this is where maybe a debate comes in, right? There's an element to which you're now gaming the algorithm, because you, in liking and supporting each other, you are also exposing your content and each other's content to each other's networks. And that's why it's been an effective strategy for people to broaden their horizons. Lempod helps you automate that, because engaging in everybody's content, supporting each other and so on, can be time consuming, and this automates that process, which again is what's so brilliant about it. So let's talk about the rumors. Let's talk about
I think I really like the way you phrased everything. To be honest, it was actually, I think I'm gonna take your video and put it on our website, because I always struggle explaining what a pod is and so on, but man, you nailed it.
Nice, good. Okay, so
Yeah, regarding regarding LinkedIn and the rumors, I think a lot of people are freaking out. It's a bit, to be honest, like it's a bit like GDPR for me. Like last year, everyone was like freaking about GDPR, but they didn't even know what it was. Like people were like, "Oh shit, with GDPR, we're not gonna be able to do this, and this anymore. It's gonna be massive chaos. People are gonna get fined." It's been 1 year, and the only numbers that increased like exponentially on LinkedIn was the number of GDPR experts. But in the end, basically, like nothing happened. Like seriously, everyone is going back to normal with everything. But anyway, like for LinkedIn, I really think, like that a lot of people, like I don't even know how the rumor started, but really like it's always the same. Like it spreads. I mean, we say it, it spreads like a rumor. But yeah, it's to be entirely honest, I think LinkedIn would really be struggling to figure out those things, because basically like even okay, let's take a normal post. Like technically it's going to be super difficult for them to actually see it. And I think like by trying to have like really advanced sanctions such as banning and so on, they would really lost the value of their platform. Because let's go back to the beginning. LinkedIn in essence is a media. So a media, exactly like Facebook, which means that as long as people are on the platform, they're making more money. So when people get a lower reach, they're not going to stay and they're not going to repost because they're not going to see the ROI. So for them, because they're selling like so much premium price to recruiters and so on, they need people to be on the platform. And they need people to actually produce content. Because with no content, there is no LinkedIn. Like if tomorrow no one posts on LinkedIn, what are they going to sell to advertiser who are buying like those $100,000 ad bot on LinkedIn? They're going to sell nothing. So what I really believe is that it's a pure rumor. I think nothing's going to happen. I don't have the proof of it, but that's my feeling, my gut feeling. And I think that for tools, we're automating, for example, data scraping and so on. It's been like some tools that have been around for like 5-10 years, and absolutely. they're literally like raping LinkedIn of its data, to be honest. So before they actually start taking and going after the users, I think they might start with those extensions. And again, it's very difficult for them to know. Like those extensions are usually spotted because they modify the code of the page. Right. And LinkedIn on its end, what they're doing, they're not actually trying to flag people, but what they're trying to do is more like limit the number of profile views and page views. So you actually upgrade to a paid plan. So that's kind of how they work. Like they're smart, like it's business in the end. So if they can make money out of it, they'll be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Of what they started doing like a few months back when they changed their algorithm, it's not a matter of making the pod work less. It's just about like for people who have never posted before, they try to really like encourage them. Actually, it's pretty like we start having quite a few data on how much posts, and like, for example, someone who have never posted and start posting in a pod, it would get like an amazing reach at first, like really, because LinkedIn, they're just going to push the content of the one that have never posted just so they get, that feel of, holy shit, like my content is being watched by that many people, like it sounds free, but actually your content is what makes LinkedIn good. And if you're producing good content, you're going to become like a LinkedIn rock star.